As we've seen, it's really important for you as a leader to know what motivates your people, to be familiar with how they're progressing in their careers and with what their motivations are. And so we come back to this idea that we talked about at the beginning of this around regular check-ins. How can we make sure that we're remaining in touch? Some people schedule, once a month, once a week, once a fortnight, a time to sit down with their staff members. And I will suggest that sometimes this can be a challenge, particularly if you're a new manager with new people. What are you going to talk about? And it's worth putting some time into thinking about some good strategies around this. There's some models and some structures that are often helpful when you're first starting to have regular check-ins. One model that I've seen that I've used myself as well is to have a little bit of a worksheet that we hand to the person before the regular meeting and ask them to think about, and it can be different things. What are some decisions you're making currently? What are some of the issues that you're facing? What are some of the challenges? What are some of your successes? Questions like that sort of get them thinking about what they're doing, and they hand that sheet to you. If they can hand that sheet to you before the workplace meeting, you're going to be more informed about where they're coming from, and you might even want to do a similar sheet for yourself around what you've seen of them as well. So it's helpful to have some strategy around this. One of the other practical models that you've already seen is the GAPS model. If you recall from the peer coaching, you've done one of these with your peer coach. And that is the GAPS, again, just to reiterate, stands for, first of all, your goals. What are the things that you're holding for yourself as your true goals, the things that you want to be accomplishing over the next year, over the next 6 months, over the next 5 years, and so forth? What are some of the abilities that you feel you have in terms of accomplishing these goals? What are some of the skills you have? What are some of the resources that you can draw on, and so forth? Perceptions, this is how other people see you, and this might be a big part of when you're having a regular check-ins, where you can provide perceptions to the person from what you've seen of their performance as well. And then finally, success factors, making sure that everything that we're doing in terms of the goals also has some alignment with the success factors demanded of their job. We can hear an echo right here, can't we, of extrinsic versus intrinsic, where extrinsic might be represented by the success factors and intrinsic might be represented by the goals, and how we might start to bring those together, just as we've talked about before as well. But this is an excellent model to get the person to fill out for themselves, and you to have them fill out for them, not every session, but once every 6 weeks. Once every 6 months, or once a year, or something like that, just to review. Where are we in line with that? It's worth thinking, though, if you're going to be having regular check-ins, what are some strategies that might support this? Regular coaching is helpful, having some kind of mentoring relationship, developing some key performance indicators and giving them feedback on metrics, which is related to mastery, that part of motivation. All of these things are strategies that support that regular check-in and that regular relationship between manager and employee.